Fellas, one of the best things that the creator gave the human is his brain. The brain is perhaps the most important thing that you need to be a human, at least to separate yourself from animals or from trees. The ability that your brain has is amazing, and you know that. I'm not informing you about that. There's one thing that I like about this platform is here we don't create content. No, we don't. We bring you thought so that your own processing machine can work on it, and from that birth an idea or something more. And also I like the fact that we can discuss, we can bounce off ideas of each other. That's why I always suggest that you do make a comment so we can hear what you have to say. And also, this platform was created with a level of safety where you can feel safe to share your opinion without necessarily feeling insulted by anybody. And thank you very much for upholding that, and I appreciate that. You know, on the internet you find lots of things, a lot of videos, a lot of opinions, and sometimes we get lost. A lot of people get lost, especially if you have no idea to where you are. When people tell you, oh, what you're looking for, the markets, it's this way, you're probably going to follow where they pointed at, not understanding that perhaps by pointing that finger, he didn't really mean to show you the market. He just wanted to get you lost. Yeah, there are some people like that. In fact, there are some countries in Africa, okay, and I need to say it, where they ask you, you see, if you see somebody looking this way, don't ask him what way to go. Yeah. They say, if you see somebody looking that way, I'm not going to give precisions because people can learn how to define what I'm trying to say. Don't ask him for direction because he's just going to be pleased with getting you lost. Yes, it exists. And surely if you test that, because I have at numerous occasions, unnecessarily show you the wrong way because he doesn't like the fact that you're a foreigner. Yes, you see those things. So the same thing as media platforms. People give you many things. They give you rice, beans, potatoes, tomatoes. You don't know what perhaps you were just looking for dessert. That's sweet. Nothing to do with what they're giving you. So be very careful, especially for the people that are abroad, people that are out there wanting to learn about Africa. We're going to talk about some other subjects just now. I'm going to give you procedures. But there's something interesting I saw online, and I want you to go through this with me. Okay? I'm going to play it, and I'll make a comment after that. Ready? Let's go.
American Foreign Minister Marco Rubio. Yesterday he was in Botswana. He had meeting with Buko, the Botswanian new president. The topic was South Africa. Topic was, listen carefully, folk state. What is the folk state? Folk state, it is big picture of Orania. Start from Orania to Alexandria Bay. It's basically entire Orange River. Listen carefully, Botswana. We have been warning you very long time now. We told you, shut down that American base. That American air base in Botswana need to be shut down. We have been told 1,000 times to Botswana, shut down that air base. If tomorrow America use Botswana to attack South African sovereignty, we will declare Botswanian as our enemy in African continent. This verse goes to directly Marco Rubio. Listen, Marco, as I believe, don't dare to touch our beautiful country. There will be no walk start. Genoeg is genoeg. Panzi after forum panzi. Panzi Volksstaat Panzi. Panzi Orania Panzi.
Very interesting. So this man is looks South African. I'm not sure. Let me not get into those details. He says Marco Rubio. He looks South African, but I don't know where to put him among South Africans. I've spent a lot of years in South Africa. And anyway, let's just continue. Maybe I could be wrong. The man says, that's Botswana. It's got a military base or aeroplane base of Americans. Okay, look at the map. This is South Africa. Here's Botswana. Botswana is a brother country. Okay, literally in Botswana they speak Setswana, which is a language that's spoken in South Africa as well. So in Botswana you find Botswana. In South Africa you find Botswana too. As you would know, this is clearly from colonialism that the country was separated, or the people were separated at least. And you remember the concept of country is a concept that's white. Okay, Africa was a big bloc. When they came to loot in 1884, they sliced Africa into small pieces, so every colonizer can take a chunk of land. Now, people from Botswana can speak with the people from South Africa in Setswana and understand each other. It's basically very close people. Now, South Africa, as much as they've always said to be neutral, is aligned with Russia through BRICS. They're friend with Russia. Botswana has a military base that hosts American flights, and they have collaboration and understanding and training among Americans forces and Botswana forces. Now, this man is mentioning that they have a plan. Rubio went to Botswana. We don't know how accurate this is. Don't know how accurate. I'm separating myself from what he's saying. We trying to analyze. He said Rubio went to Botswana to discuss with the president, which I personally very, very much appreciate, President Buko, for a plan, okay, which is very difficult to understand or believe, but let's go with what he's saying. What's interesting to say is Julius Malema mentioned this.
Today, here in Southern Africa, we've got an American military base in Botswana, which threatens our security. That American base in Botswana, if they were to fly a fighter jet from that base to Union Building, it will take them 2 minutes to bomb the Union Building. Why do you allow them to have a military base in Botswana? Because no one can prepare to defend himself in 2 minutes. Once America declares a war and says we are attacking South Africa, they will do it in 2 minutes and finish the Union Building. That's why that military base in Botswana, it must be closed, because it's a security threat to the whole Southern Africa, the region that belongs to African continent.
Could this be a danger to South Africa? The other question is, they're looking to create Orania. What is Orania? Here's Orania. You can see on the map, that's Orania. It's a little town, if you prefer. Okay, a little town that's exclusively white. White South Africans stay there. Okay, and apparently the requirement is you have to be Christian, you have to speak Afrikaans, and you must be white. And the reason why Orania exists, as per the creators, is to maintain their religious, political, cultural tradition, intact, undeterred. And also, is the legality, is it illegal? No, it's not illegal in South Africa, because there's provision for it in the constitution that allows South Africans to unite according to their own choices. So a group of people can choose to associate with their own people. It's not criminal. Now, is this racism? Well, on paper, it's not. Okay, it's not racism. Can racism be hidden inside that? Absolutely. I mean, you can be racist and say, okay, we're just trying to keep our culture. We don't want, it has nothing to do with race. You can justify it that way. Now, either way, it's a possibility. However, what this man is mentioning here is saying that Orania is not just going to be Orania. Okay, the goal is to make it much bigger. Is he telling the truth or not? Question mark. Would there be an idea to make a new country in South Africa? Well, let's go with fact. The fact is, many white people feel happy to be with black people after apartheid. Let me just remind you, South Africa has gone through the most. They went through apartheid, segregation and stuff like that, where whites dominated the culture, the finance, the administrative, the constructions and everything, the healthcare within white people. Blacks were mostly just workers, lift up the brick, push the wood, that was black people. Things have changed since 1994. When Nelson Mandela came out of prison, white and black sort of live together. They work in the same companies. They associate with one another, even though there's still a lot more work to be done into terms of getting married and having children, which is not very common, but they sort of accept each other. Now, amongst those whites, are there certain that are happy to be with black people and continue a country that is mixed? Yes, there are. Now, are there some people that are actually feeling the nostalgia of the past? Like, we miss it when it was us on top. We miss it when we were separated. Yes, there are those people. Who could potentially be the people that want to separate South Africa? Is those people that miss South Africa the way it was in the past, meaning during apartheid. They could potentially be those people. Now, do you think those people are connected to a level where they would associate Donald Trump to create a brand new country? Let's listen to this other person.
Do you see what they did now with Trump? How the white community have sent letters to him that they are in trouble. What Trump did is not what they wanted. This is the word of the Lord I'm giving you.
The word of the Lord.
Let me tell you something. The white community is not trying to run away from South Africa. So you own huge tracts of land, 20,000 hectares, and then you're allowed to go to America and be like any normal citizen and be a refugee. Do you think in the next few days you hear them saying we need our own country in South Africa? Mark my words. All they are trying to do is to find a location in South Africa which they will call African. You think a rich man in South Africa?
Now, this man is a pastor. I'm not sure what his name is again. I think he's from Zimbabwe or something. And that is his opinion. Again, this is all for entertainment purpose. This is all for entertainment purpose. We're just trying to dissect what he's trying to say. He's saying that what we're seeing right now happening with Donald Trump and the delegation was not the result some people, some white people, especially in South Africa, expected. They wanted more, okay? Because we see some videos of people very disappointed in how things happened, disappointed with the DA leader not representing their cause. So will we see people saying, no, we actually don't want to be part of South Africa. We want to create our own part. It is a possibility. Why? Because it has happened before in many other countries. In Sudan, we've seen that. In Europe, in some places, Czechoslovakia, it has happened before. Is this a possible option? Question mark. Like I said earlier, I think if there is a possibility about this, will it be supported by the West? Well, clearly the West has got a level of support, a soft heart for white people in South Africa. That's evident. The same way they screamed, to raise awareness about the unaliving of white farmers in Africa. It's not necessarily the same degree they react to in other issues in different places in the world. That is fact. However, depending on the government and the office and, the system. Now, what we're saying here is, will this happen? Will we see ourselves in a situation where some group of people potentially wants to have their own country? Question mark. Well, we know in South Africa there's a group of people, there's Cape Independence that exists already. It's a political party that is led by a man that is British. I think he's one of the leaders, at least. He came living in South Africa. I don't think he's naturalized. People say he's got a South African passport. I believe the South African Home Affairs Department says he's not a citizen. He's a permanent resident. He lives somewhere in Western Cape. He wants Western Cape to be a country on its own. And he's got support from many people. Now, is this an opportunity to make that dream true? Let me know how you feel about this. It was a great pleasure. Is Botswana's position, hosting America, airplanes and stuff, dangerous to South Africa? Like Malema said.
Today, here in Southern Africa, we've got an American military base in Botswana, which threatens our security. That American base in Botswana, if they were to fly a fighter jet from that base to Union Building, it will take them 2 minutes to bomb the Union Building. Why do you allow them to have a military base in Botswana? Because no one can prepare to defend himself in 2 minutes. Once America declares a war and says we are attacking South Africa, they will do it in 2 minutes and finish the Union Building. That's why that military base in Botswana, it must be closed, because it's a security threat to the whole Southern Africa, the region that belongs to African continent.
Is this a possibility with the second person, the second pastor, saying that they try to do this? We could hear in the future some people who do not necessarily represent all white South Africans, because not all white South Africans want to go, saying that they want their own country or they want to stay independent. Let me know how you feel about this. It was a great pleasure.